Okay. Welcome everybody, whoever is watching live and whoever is actually watching on recorded video too. Um, I want to tell one thing. I don't know how many of you guys are really fitness enthusiastic here. Some reason I started gym and I was looking at reduce some fat. How do I reduce some fat? Looking at different plans. There are a lot of videos, lot of plans, lot of applications, all are available. Mm, I took one and it was saying me, you have, along with your the daily practice, um, you do one thing, have some lemon water um, with honey, 2 teaspoon honey or 3 teaspoon honey per day. I followed it. There's a nice plans. I followed every day. After 3 months, I lost 5 kg lemon and 1 liter uh, honey instead. So just one is part of it actually. Uh, Even though that is the planner is not effective for me, but there is a planner for today. If you understand, if you look at anywhere, even whether it's professional or personal, anything, whenever you do, everybody will enforce a plan, or everybody say that okay, you should have a goal, you should have a plan how to achieve that thing. And anywhere if you look at like we join an office, especially in IT industry, you have onboarding plan. After that, if you join there and start getting into any project, then project plan is there. After you develop everything, then when you're going to deploy, there is a deployment plan. After that, you fed up with the company and you're leaving, there is another plan, exit plan also. So it's continuous plan everywhere. Similarly for life, if you go take anything, uh, how many plans? We will think about our kids, their education plan, career plan, then loan plan. Wherever you go, you have plans, right? So planning is one of the very, what to say, you which we cannot avoid in your life. So everybody doing this planning. So Microsoft also, as a big company, they are also thinking selling opportunity of their product, right? They are also thinking, okay, if everybody is doing a plan, why can't I make a product with for managing these all plans also? Okay, I don't know why they typically Microsoft thinks like that, but in my point of view, it is one of the best tool which they provided for us to do the planning. uh, Having said that, thanks to Dr. Nitin, so he has already given some glimpse about it. How do we even plan our entire applications, how to use this, and he has given some nice tips about using plans too. Okay. See, even look at this event. This event, we have two tracks, we have different event sessions are going on, and there's lot of plan happened before we reaching to this point. So I want to thank our entire organization team for doing this entire planning and executed so well. So special thanks to Nanti, Smita, Kunj, Siddharth for hosting this session and having me here. With that said, my session is again about Planner. How this Microsoft Planner, um, we can use it, or how we can use more productively. Probably let us think little next level also. How do we automate? Now that's a typical word here right now. Everywhere it's a buzzword. How do we automate these plannings? How we can actually use it better way? Um, so having said that, my name is Sujit. I do uh, basically as an considering myself an architect. I do in solution architect, enterprise level architecturing also, and I have MCT and do this kind of sessions whenever possible. I'm getting chance to talk with the different people. Most of the time is live, and I like to have live sessions. That's more. We need more planning for that. Yeah, but yeah, online sessions too. Um, so if you would like to have any contact with me or any connect with me, please follow my handlers. With that said, let me go back. I don't have much PPT or presentations for you to start. Uh, Directly, let's go to our demo sessions. Okay. So this is one of the screen. Okay, of course, uh, the concept of Office 365 became very uh, common to all of us now. Most of us is using day to day, and whoever is not using or on its all potential, last session must be helped you guys to understand different product on the Office 365 layer. So here we are talking about one of the product specifically on planner, but not limiting to that. How do we utilize this product along with other Microsoft Office 365 product? So let's start with planner. So let's assume that so you are planning to have going for a tour. This is one thing we used to do, especially in our office. Last 3 4 years, we are going planning for a bachelor Goa trip. In fact, every time planning is happening, but not it's not because of the planner. It's because of us. It's not happening really. So if you wanted to go for a trip, or if you wanted to do a specific event, if you wanted to do a specific activity, if you wanted to run some specific marketing campaign, see, think about almost whatever you are doing in business or personal. The planning and the planner, one tool is so much important for us. So we use this different mechanism nowadays. If to get up early, we use alarm, right? What to do in morning, we will use some other different to do list. So what to do personally, we are using a lot of apps available in mobile and our productivity improvement apps. So of course every apps has its own uh, advantage, disadvantage, all the things. So we are typically talking about this planner because this I felt like that if you integrate this to multiple applications or multiple other tools, you are going to get a lot of good business use case. And specifically, typically looking at where you wanted to save some license cost, or you wanted to utilize it better way, or you want to utilize it productivity way, more productive way. Um, this tool specifically helping us to achieve some of the niche business functionality too. We might be doing it in big business. We might be doing it uh, with very I cannot say costly tools specifically for a bigger organization, but a smaller organization which is running themselves in a very limited transaction. They wanted to do a quick campaign to the customers whom they are serving, and they wanted to run a sales process, or if they wanted to do some kind of customer service activities, or if they wanted to do a list of uh, producting, understanding the possibilities of that product in the market. So if you do look at that perspective, probably he might not have enough budget to go for a bigger product like CRM, ERP, all those kind of product. But uh, with Office 365, whatever minimum license which he is going to take, in fact, he can do a lot of things, or his organization can do this. Otherwise, you can help them to do a lot of things, right? So we will talk about some of such scenarios, and I would like to hear from you guys also. Generally, I used to do this. take your thought process towards that, and you brainstorm yourself and come up with some business ideas where we can discuss this end of the call, where you think, okay, how do we able to utilize these tools, whatever so far we discussed last 30-40 minutes, how do we actually utilize it for more productive way. Okay, so having said that, planner, this tool is why it is little nice in behavior is, this is one of the intuitive tool and mostly so easy to learn and understand. In fact, you don't need a session like this to understand how to use this tool.
So,
Okay,
Sujit,
it's yeah.
sorry to cut you, but if you're sharing the screen, at least we're not able to see it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was is it visible now?
Yes, it is now. Thank you.
Okay. In fact, I shared some of other slides too. Okay, fine. Um, Right. I'll go back to that in the end of the session. Yep. So this is the screen which Microsoft told us to use from the planner level. So you have multiple tools available as part of your Microsoft Office 365 license. In one thing I want to tell you guys earlier, I'm not using really a productive login ID which I used to do in my office or in my personal life. This is specifically built for this demo purpose. So you whatever plans and whatever information you see, it just considers just a demo purpose. Okay, um, right. This tool, this is one, this specifically the planner. One good thing about it, and one good thing wanted for almost all planner is it should be available for us anytime. Okay, so the planner app is almost available for us through our day-to-day office life tool like Teams nowadays. Whoever is using Microsoft, uh, and because of this pandemic, Teams became so familiar and so attractive for every all of us, and a lot of changes happening on there. Those Teams, if you are using day-to-day, and it is already integrated with the Teams and Outlook. It is already integrated with Outlook. uh, if it is you have a mobile app too for this planner, and you can use it anywhere, and you have an internet use, you are already connected to that, so you will understand how you are moving ahead as part of your plans. So that way availability is almost everywhere if you are using this tool. Second thing is collaborations. You can collaborate with your group of, see, almost this the plan which I talk about, tour plan. Okay, so I want to collaborate with some of my friends. So otherwise that will not work out. It's not my personal plan like I want to reduce some fat. It's not like that. It is basically a group plan. So group plan, I want to collaboration, I want to understand, I want to give different jobs to different people. uh, in fact, not job, that's how we can achieve that specific goal. So that collaboration is really literally required. So this planner is giving me almost all possible way. Probably now what I'm thinking is all possible way. Those all are actually available as a collaborative mechanism here. So it's a very collaborative tool for us. Then if you usually if you design a plan, it's based on task, right? So there are 10 tasks. Before I'm starting a tour plan, I have to book for a flight, I would find a hotel, and what all activity I need to do, uh, where and all I need to go, what tickets I need to look for. This kind of list of activities are there. So the task, somebody has to take care of that task. So we can define those tasks, and we can actually put it what percentage is completed when we are supposed to finish that task. So more business oriented task means we need an SLA also, we need to do, so within due date it's finished, we have to achieve something. So it is basically I need all the tracking mechanism, right? Where when I need to supposed to start this task, when I have to finish this task, in case if I forget, somebody has to remind me. All those kind of control, and some grouping. if I wanted to label this task, this is very important compared to other one, this is first one which I need to take care. That kind of control. And somewhere some checklist, okay, whether you taken your enough items while you are going, before you are starting for the flight, have you taken your tickets, uh, so whether you're having enough money on your credit card, oh sorry, your card, right? So those kind of checklist also we need to consider. So this is very, if you think about any planning, these all are general stuffs required. But those general stuffs, to handle those general stuff, whether this planner is helping, yes, that is where I have this options to create checklist. I can even attach, generally sometimes we wanted to save some documents, some pictures about that location, or maybe what we are going to achieve over there. If you are in a development perspective, you need a, suppose you are plan for how to develop a software, you need some kind of document like a business requirement. Or if you're running a campaign, you need a campaign strategy document, or you have a brochure. Those kind, multiple you need to store somewhere as part of the planning. So these kind of support tools or support mechanism also there in the planner. Probably some items are missing. That's okay, but so far whatever we had it, we can do a lot of things with this planner. Okay, so planner itself is a collaborative, it's very intuitive tool. Where you can plan and you can define the task, and you can define all the checklist, you can attach something, you can group it, and moreover, all these things you can see in one place. Okay, and you can see it in different media channels too, like mobile, your web, or your teams. So day to day, whatever application you're using, there's kind of integration. Now if I am doing this plan everything manually, okay, so let's put some hands on how do we create this plan. As I mentioned again, there is no real technical session or some 1 hour session is really required for understanding this. This is self-learning kind of thing. So if you want to create a new plan, you can simply go here, create a plan whatever you want. There are some templates available, you can utilize if you are actually looking for it. On top of that, if you have a professional license, you have a Copilot support also. Okay, that is interesting topic. We'll come to that point. And again, we have a separate track for Copilot, but here also to think about business functionality with Planner, we are getting a lot of nice ideas, or nice use cases. If you start thinking about, if you start integrate AI with Planner, what is going to happen? Right. So okay, let me talk about generally at the base license. So with base license you are able to create a plan like this, and you can simply select the plan, give the name, and which all groups, and especially it is connected to your tenant, so you can define the list of groups, which groups you wanted to. Otherwise, if you don't have any groups right now and you wanted to decide yourself who all are going to work, you can do it later too. So likewise you can create a public or private plan for you. Okay, now if you do this, just created some of the plans only for the demo purpose. So some email planner, onboarding planning, how we can onboard the members, and business planning, so self-assessment, define some opportunity. So you can see some grouping here, right? So for some project map management planning. So let me talk about this project management sample plan. So if you look at this, uh, you have a lot of tiles here. See, you see I can actually simply drag and drop these tiles for here and there, right? So these tiles is basically nothing else. You have the, you what task is related to this entire planning. So you see grouping. So this entire project management is grouped by we have grouped like initiating, planning, executing, monitoring, closing, and even you can create add new buckets, something like that, whatever you want, right? So this is actually, first you are designing your plan for achieving something. How many steps you have, how many group buckets of task you have to define that task, right? Then after that you can add different tasks to in each buckets. For example, if I am adding a task, um, le- we are ready, something like that. I can select a due date when it's supposed to. Let's assume that it's a project management plan, right? So I got a project, I got a requirement, I want to have a requirement document to be signed off by specific date. So I'm getting we are signed off on due date is 31/7, and to whom I need to assign. I will see the members who is a part of this tenant. Then I can actually add anybody whom I wanted to assign this task. So I can assign and I can add them to this chat group. I mean the plan group. So I can go to be. I am actually collaborating with them. Then so what you see this task has been created. Now if I open this task, you have options like no need to fully open, otherwise also you have option to define different labels. You can assign to somebody else, you can copy that task and query move this task. These all are self-explanatory, no need to explain too much things, but as we open it you see generally some of the common things here, like which bucket it is, what is the status of this task, what is the priority, start date, end date, repeat all this description. You can start keep on discussing about this task, what all things is happening. And technically speaking, some of the data which is storing here in a different location. For example, if you upload any document, it is directly going to a SharePoint location. And if you're putting the notes are storing in Outlook. So likewise, these are notes in the sense of communications are storing their Outlook. So there are, how we Microsoft handles this task is definitely different technical area. But otherwise, for us as an end user usage, we don't need to care about all these things. We can start creating our task, keep bringing it and looking at what is happening on the task, and we can assign to different group. So then he as an task planner owner, you can see different views and how do you able to achieve this, what is happening on this chart. You can use a Kanban board. Generally this is what you're saying, you can move task to one place to another. These all are general functionality, how to utilize it. Okay, now uh, assume that now I am in a, I want to utilize it in better little automated way. Okay, that's our more concentration on this session. So look how to use task, say how to use planner. Probably I encourage you guys just to take 10-15 minutes of your time to understand how to utilize it. In fact, if I am telling those kind of information to you guys, probably you will get so bored what I'm telling here, very basic things. So let me take now next level. um, uh, in an organization, if I am an admin person, or I am just like as I mentioned, I'm leading a team. There different people are joining a different timeline, and sometimes um, layoffs also happening. So otherwise people are going themselves. So let's assume similar small setup. Okay, so every time when somebody new coming into my team, I need to take them to different step of task, or maybe different steps of procedure where they should be ready to work on my project. Uh, the problem is if I start doing it for each and every person, I need to spend a lot of time. Otherwise, my seniors, whoever is there with me to help in this project, they have to spend a lot of time. So I want to make some kind of workflow where when people are getting in, they should automatically get some inputs along with the task, what all things they need to do, and what all training they have to go through, and what all steps they understand to get into this project. All those things uh, I need to make it happen automatically. Or when somebody is coming in, I need to make sure that okay, they are part of this end-to-end areas, right? Similarly, I should it's not like a plan designed. Okay, I wanted to have something different, like in case tomorrow if I change the plan, that flexibility also should be there. So say that I am giving an option of 2 days to go for a training. Then I thought, okay, really 2 days is really required? Why can't we make it one day? When I change the one day, next time onwards, or the person who is already not taken that task also has to adjust the due date according to the timeline which I defined. So manually when we create, so what if I am, let's assume that if I am doing this not orally, or maybe following with some Excel sheet and all, let's assume I am taking the help of some tool like Planner. So not some tool like Planner, I am going to use Planner only. So in this case, what I will do, when somebody joining, I create a plan for him, or maybe my onboarding plan. I'll define, okay, these all things you need to do, and say that you have to go through these things, and I can assign this plan to them, and they will, in their teams, when they are opening, uh, whenever they get into my organization, they are getting a team's ID.
Sujit, sorry, you got muted.
Am I audible now?
Yes, it is. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so then when coming back to what I mentioned, like, so in that case, if I'm a low person who jumped into an organization, I got an ID in Teams, so that when my boss, who was designing this plan, when he did that, um, I will see all the tasks in my teams, which is supposed to finish line by line. These are things which I need to do. So I don't need to go and ask somebody, how do I start, where do I start, that kind of things. This is typically simply possible if when somebody is coming in, I create a planner for them and assign this task to them. Let's I'm just typically we are taking one simple example, onboarding. Okay, it's simple possible. Now how do we make it little bit more easier? Because every time I don't want to do this manual activity. Okay, we might think about, okay, we have option to export, import, all those things, but other than that, next level, and one more option, um, what industry is following. Sometimes along with the specifically tailored as part of my organization, I can even look at what other industries following. So suppose I'm taking an Java person, I'm taking an .NET person, or I am taking a Power Platform person, what all training they have to go. Instead, do I need to do it, learning about it, how do which all area they have to do, or keep on changing things, right? Maybe the training which they are going through now probably has to be different. They're supposed to go on after 6 months. Links will be different, these things will be different. This information definitely we will get from uh, Microsoft, or if you are using some kind of AI tool, you will be able to get it, either chat GPT or AI tool, anything you are getting, you are able to get it. So let's assume that we are getting that input also. As part of that, whatever we are getting, we have to push to this plan. So in that way, I really don't want to do, I want to run this automatically. Okay, so I I mentioned a use case now. um, Whatever happening on industry, based on that, my organization has to improve in the similar way, right? So I will be getting latest with some input, some AI process or any process. I will be getting latest what actually happening, and using that content, I want to create a planner, and that is going to assign to a member who is joining into my group. This is a scenario. So let's I it end to end is not built, but like a very I can show you some glimpse about it. Let's assume that in my organization I am using um, Microsoft Azure. I have a tenant, and if somebody is joining my organization, of course I will add them into my Active Directory. That is part of my admin IT activity. So here, let me add one person in my. Sorry, I'm moving like this because I could not see my tabs because of this Teams setting. Okay, so here, this is my Definitely it's created for demo purpose, not real. Okay. So here, I went to my Entra ID area. Then I'm creating a new member who is joining my team. So I'm creating a new user, probably what name? Okay, Linda. Just given a simple name. This assume that let's this is all our not our job, by the way. It is part of our IT processing. So he added one new member onboarded. So he now this member will have a login ID, and this member will have a Teams that license and all will assign to this. One thing I did here specifically. Uh, I add this user into one of the group automatically. So you can design some rules into your um, Azure, I mean, AD level. It is not our topic, but still, just saying you can define some rules and you can add people to your any groups and all. Okay, so whomever I added Linda, a new user, probably it will come here. Of course, they take some time, um, because Active Directory or say Entra ID has its own some timeline. So 2-3 minutes maximum within a, you can see the impact of that. So assume that it's going to come. Okay, definitely. Because I already verified it. Don't worry, this is going to happen. So as per the rule which I defined, this person is going to get into this specific group. Okay. I will come back to the screen, of course. Then let me take to you the next level. Once this person is getting into the role, now we are going to take help of some other tool which is available as part of our Office 365. Again, minimum license, not with the premium licenses and all. Um, so we created a simple Power Automate. Probably people who don't know Power Automate, let me say you, it is one of the nicest tool available really in the Microsoft world today. If you wanted to automate, if you want to integrate, a lot of use cases you can tell into Power Automate. But just think about if you wanted to do anything in a systematic way, and if you wanted to make an automation, this is one of the tool in Microsoft bucket, especially Power Platform bucket, which you can utilize for your entire automations. And it's again, it sets no code, low code. So again, it's a low code tool. Not, I'm not say it's totally no code, but there some expressions and all you need to write. But otherwise, it's very nice tool. So whoever don't have this background already, just give some glimpse about what is actually it's doing. So this is the workflow which is designed in Power Automate, where it will identify anybody who joined or get into this planner group. I will get a trigger. If somebody got into that group, this instance of Power Automate is going to trigger and going to do the rest of the activity what has been defined here. So when anybody get into this group, what I am doing is I am getting some input of that person and defining some ETA and all those things. Along with that, now uh, I wanted to assign some list of tasks to that person, specifically onboarding task. So again, that I don't want to put hard code. I want to provide a master list. Okay, for providing the master list, again, where do I go? So earlier session, you guys see multiple options, right? You can use Excel, list, SharePoint. So any tool, you can use any of the tool. Don't consider whatever I did, it's the right thing. But consider some master list area. So here I use SharePoint just to keep design that master list. So just simply defined list of tasks as master task, general task. And again, this task, this what I to mention, that this task you can design and change based on your AI integration too. So you can update this master list regularly with some other Power Automate or some other mechanism. behind the scene it will update, especially that kind of plans where you wanted to go with the market up to date. This is specifically for my organization, my imaginary organization. These are the tasks people has to go through, whether they are general join as a general category or an administrative category or a developer. They have to go through this. They are supposed to go through this list of things. They need to submit their documents, they need to collect their laptop, that is asset collection. A simple straightforward, okay. They need to validate their credential if they got it. They need to get some management trainings, how to write, how to fill timesheet, how to behave, how to send an email, those kind of basic things. Then domain based training where they are going to get into maybe they are working on a specific project, some area they need to like maybe insurance, banking, they need to understand basics of it. So we can expand these individual tasks, okay. Just for a demo purpose, is all a high level simply created task. So we have a master task here. Now what is going to happen is this Power Automate which we designed, it's going to pick this task and go through the task. And we were designing that task in identifying each items and assign, creating those tasks in the planner for the members who is, wait a minute, who is actually joining in my team. Okay, so I'm just checking whether it is ran, like reminder. Hmm. Hmm. So it again, sometimes you can see a little bit hard coding here. So we are defining the category, identifying the category from the master task, and as per the category, it is creating different tasks for different people. Since our session is not really on Power Automate, I'm not going too much detail into it. But yeah, it is not so difficult. You will have the connectors to connect to the planners from Power Automate. You can create tasks. You can. This information is a dynamic value which is taken from our SharePoint. The task name which we define there, it is taken from that, and that task name will go to our specific plan task. And similarly, we are calculating due date when this start, okay, not due date, when this task has to start, because it's based on his onboarding date, right? We are doing, that is what we are doing a little earlier in the top. So doing the start date calculation, and as per the time defined, SLA defined, or the due date defined, we you see that in SharePoint you have ETA days, right? 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. So if I join today, from today plus 3 days, along with my holidays and my weekend, I need to calculate when he's supposed to finish this task. So those all calculation is happening before. uh, in this Teams is blocking me. Yeah, right. Now as per that, I need to calculate the end date for this task. Then similarly, who is the user, right? The user who onboarded, that user I'm assigning this task. This is applicable across different categories. This one also you can design better, little better way, where you can do dynamic categorization and all those things. But ultimately, aim is, I have a master list of plan. I am the I am the owner of the plan of my organization, or I am designing my plan, or I am taking help of the what is happening on the market. Using that, I am designing a master plan, and this master plan is assigned to individual members, right? Onboarding is just a simple small example. If you consider, there are a lot of areas we can utilize this approach. Right. Hope our member has already get into group, and this process is already ran, and we see the output also. Let me go back to my groups, refresh. So here, this user is already added. Now let's see the. log of this onboarding planner Power Automate. So it is been ran in before 5 minutes. So whatever we talked, discussed, it might happened, and he got some task also here. If I look at my onboarding plans, uh, let me refresh. I could see some task is been assigned to Linda based on, see whatever LL you see, it's all a Linda. You can even open it. You can see that, see the new user which I created is going to get this task. So now Linda open her Teams and look at other ways that she looking at their Outlook. And if he already, if I enforced her to utilize mobile app for planner, she might see it. Uh, Definitely she might see it. um, but planner has an extra option. We have actually push messages. Where we'll see if she didn't see it, we'll make her know. Now let's assume that uh, other than uh, default feature of planner has an option. You can do a notification whenever I'm assigning a task. You can send an email to that person if it is a group. Otherwise, somebody reassign, or the task is due or due in next 7 days, we can send an email to that person. But some people still won't bother about it, right? They don't care about if I get an email. Yeah, I got an email, 7 days email, but we want to disturb them, disturb them until they finish the task. So again, you can utilize your same Power Automate for additional some such kind of use cases too. For example, if you want to remind this person continuously until he finish the due date, different channel, you can simply create a Power Automate which is going to reminder too. As an example, um, so here some recurrence Power Automate, where we you can actually run this scheduler scheduled base. Again, it's one other feature of Power Automate. You can run no, one earlier it's based on one event. Now it is based on some scheduled events. So you are able to run this based on your recurrence schedule. So it will go and look at list of um, uh, scheduled already defined plan task for different people, and as per your roles which you defined, you can send email. Even you can send a Teams notification. If you have connector for WhatsApp, you can send that to Slack, Facebook, anything you can do that way. So you can expand that into follow-up task also. Again, you don't need to go and follow up it. Now if you wanted to get a summary of this thing back to you, or somebody send you an email related to this, you want to create a uh, task for you too. It's an example. um, I I got a task. I went through it, and now I'm, instead of updating my task, or I updated my task also. I sent an email to, or as part of the task, there is an email gone to, or it's somebody assigned to back to me. I wanted to similarly get notified. I want to rest myself. All things are happening behind the scene. Doesn't mean that something is coming to me, I should forget, right? Somebody has to remind me to do. So you can do that too also. So example, one email came, you wanted to look at the subject base or some kind of consideration based on, suppose, onboarding related thing. If you are a HR person, if somebody has an onboarding issue, you might get a lot of other emails, but specifically the email related to onboarding, you want to create as a task for you. So what you can do, you can simply, again, uh, we are ending up to create a lot of Power Automate use cases. Not, it's not a Power Automate use case. We can actually considering as a basically planner is our source of data, management data, where you can do everything. But for running this automation, definitely you have to use some tools, right? Here we are using Power Automate. So see, if I send an email saying that some conditioning. You can do that conditioning, say that the mail is coming from this so and so person, or the mail is coming with this specific label, and it has some attachment because specifically some document is sharing, and otherwise it don't have attachment. Like any kind of rules you can define. You want to create a task for you, or somebody join and you wanted to usually system will send you an email. When you get such emails, you have to act on it. So you want to create a task for you. So that kind of use cases also you can define it simply in the planner. For example, here I send an email to myself from a specific email id. So I am small, very small, very small, a power automate. So one new email comes with some attachment and contains some specific keyword, I'm going to create a task for me. So is similarly, if you go here and you can see what all things specifically my goals or my supposed to do, all those things you suppose specifically here it's onboarding plan. So no, email planner. Okay, I create a lot of so you see when somebody is sending an email, I am getting a task. In fact, I am very uh, professional. I completed this task yesterday itself. So whatever I onboarding related task, I got it. So somebody sent an email, say that it's a new join is joined, and you are supposed to do some work. I completed yesterday itself. So likewise, see, this is some examples where you can utilize your task along with other tools, very detailed way, like so we used very, I can say 10, 20, 30% of possibility of this utilization of this. But I just wanted to put the thought process on your mind. If you have this tool along with other tools with basic license, you can do a lot of business functionalities using planner itself. Planner along with other Microsoft product. You heard about last session, there are a lot of other products is there. So literally you don't need to buy a crm, you don't need to buy a erp, you don't need to buy a proper a, a, a tool which where you need to spend a lot of license costs. Don't need to look at uh, of course big companies can think that way, but I'm talking about a small and medium sector where we can apply these tools with minimum expenditure, minimum thing, we can utilize a lot of this kind of activity. Just simple example, if you wanted to run a campaign, it's so easy now. If you otherwise, how do we handle those kind of activity? You have a crm system where you can run the campaign. But you need to spend that much money behind it. But if you wanted to do this kind of activity with efficiency, uh, of course we won't get that level of high product efficiency, but still it is still easily possible to run in collaborative way and with the help of a tool like this. So again, the time which you wanted to spend to activate this kind of things in your environment, again it's very limited. You don't need to spend too much time to build this kind of activities. Whatever you've seen here also, you can make it in a 1 hour 2 hour of your time, or you gave it to some especially whoever is expert on this area, they can do it very quickly. You give your ideas. This is what I want automation in my environment with, but I have this much license only. Consider me how to handle these kind of things. So either if you are running an organization, you can think about it, or if you are supporting an organization, you can still think about it. If you're not doing anything, still you can think about it, because this is going to be future for you. Get more work for you, it's yourself, and you're earning for yourself. With that said, I'm stopping it here. There are a lot of use cases which you can thought. My simple request or my simple thought process is, I could give you some kind of um, leading on your thought process where you can actually utilize these tools in this fashion also. And there is a lot of automation possible, and along with these tools and you can actually save a lot of money every time. We don't need to buy a big product to achieve something which we are really looking for. Having said that, thank you very much for the time and having me here. Um, this is this is a slide which I forgot, or maybe you guys didn't see. So whomever wanted to follow and discuss further on it, um, you can actually connect to me on this handler. Along with that, I repeat, um, planning such event is really required lot of planning. uh, so thanks so much for the organizer, uh, Tanti, Smita, Kunj, Sid. um, that's it from me. Open for any questions if you guys have.